Last July, Faisal Hussain walked down Toronto's Danforth Avenue, selectively firing his revolver at human targets, killed 2 and injured 13 before turning the gun on himself. And this just in. Apparently, the investigation regarding the Danforth shooting has at long last wrapped up. Not that the Toronto police plan to tell us this, apparently. Rather, this nugget of information was discovered by a reporter. So it is that playing catch-up is Toronto Police Chief Mark Saunders, who admits that, yeah, the investigation is indeed over, but no, the public is not going to learn about the results of this investigation, not quite yet anyway. So in other words, when it comes to the Danforth shooting, everything is going true to form in that secrecy remains the name of the game. Yet the question remains, why has there been such a lack of transparency regarding Faisal Hussain's rampage to begin with? For example, we still don't even know what the motive was. In fact, the police seem to be implying, incredibly, that there may have been no motive at all. Yeah, old Faisal was just having a really bad day and he wigged out and shot off a few rounds. And of course, shame on you if you even mention radical Islam, even though Faisal had recently visited Pakistan and he was in possession of several conspiracy theory DVDs on the topics of 9/11 and U.S. wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and ISIS would later claim responsibility for the attack. But no, sir, no jihadi hijinks to see here, folks. Hussain was merely a troubled man, so move along, please. Yet things got even more malodorous when it was later revealed that in 2017, Faisal's brother, Fahad, suffered a drug overdose and to this day remains in a coma. Yet get this, in September of that year, Durham Regional Police executed a search warrant of Fahad's surety, Mizam Ansari. Police seized 33 guns and, perhaps even more concerning, a staggering 42 kilograms of the deadly street drug carfentanil. Make no mistake, 42 kilos is enough carfentanil to kill millions of people. But again, nothing to see here, folks. In fact, right from the get-go, this case stunk in terms of even the public learning the identity of the deceased gunman. More than 24 hours had elapsed before Faisal Hussain was finally identified by police. And yet again, why? Why the delay? Well, it turned out time was needed for Faisal's family to concoct a press release. No, I'm not making this up. And this press release would adroitly explain their son's struggle with mental illness. But of course. Yet, if that press release looked extremely polished for a couple who speak English as a second language, that's because it was later revealed by Anthony Fury in the Toronto Sun that the Hussains didn't actually write this thing. Rather, it was penned by a spin doctor by the name of Mohammed Hashim, a full-time organizer for the Toronto and York Region Labour Council, who also happens to be a driving force behind the National Council of Canadian Muslims. Fury notes that Hashim is someone who is committed to, quote, framing a new narrative of Muslims in Canada, end quote. Now, that's interesting, but why would he get involved in the case of a mass shooter? And by the way, just who was the go-between here when it came to the family and Hashim? Who reached out to Hashim for him to concoct this press release? Someone on the police force? A politician, perhaps? The Prime Minister? Who? And why were the police so cooperative in not revealing Faisal's name until the press release was issued in the first place? Nobody will say. And yet, compare that with another Toronto massacre that had occurred just 3 months to Faisal's grotesque rampage. I speak of Alec Minayasin, who killed 10 people and injured 15 others when he went on a rampage down Yonge Street behind the wheel of a full-size van. Yet, even though the carnage created by Alex Minayasin was worse than what Faisal Hussain did, Minayasin's name was released almost as soon as it was discovered. There was certainly no outreach campaign to have a spin doctor craft a fancy press release on behalf of the Minayasin family. So why was there such a different approach? Was it because, oh, I don't know, Minayasin isn't a Muslim and Hussain is? And that authorities seem to be hypersensitive these days regarding stories that depict followers of the religion of peace who don't act all that peacefully? Is that it? And now that it's been revealed that the Faisal Hussain investigation has at long last been completed, it still won't be made available for public consumption for who knows how long? Gee, maybe the cops now have to hire that spin doctor to sanitize a report for us great unwashed masses. Bottom line, due to that virus of political correctness, will we ever know the truth about the Danforth shooter and what occurred on that horrible July evening? Don't know about you folks, but based on what's transpired so far, I'm not the least bit optimistic. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, you can listen to all Rebel shows as a podcast. Please go to the Rebel.media/listen.